Last week, we had former Republican George Conway on the show, a very interesting interview that many of you greatly enjoyed. He appeared on MSNBC yesterday, and this is a funny little clip. George Conway saying Trump is done and his brain is fried, and that for George Conway, the real sign that Trump is now out to pasture mentally is that he claimed that the picture of Kamala Harris's crowd was AI manipulated, which we covered yesterday. Here's George Conway speaking to Jen Psaki.
What we saw with this tweet yesterday is that last final collapse of Donald Trump's mental state. I mean, you think about it, saying that those were like 50, 60, 70,000 people in the aggregate in five rallies in different states. Jonathan Chait put this, of New York Magazine, put it this way today. It's like, that's loopier than saying that the moon landings were staged, because there were tens of thousands of people were there. And there are hundreds of people taking photographs and videos. You know, to think that is crazy, and to try to sell it to people is just as crazy. He's done. His brain is fried.
Now, listen. I happen to, on a personal level, agree with George Conway, but we need to sort of try to analyze this in the context of how would your average MAGA base voter see it? Reasonable Republicans like Chris Christie and Mitt Romney would hear Trump's claim about the crowd being AI manipulated and say, that's absolutely nuts. Don't pay attention to that. Trump's brain does seem to be fried. However, many of your hardcore MAGA cultists, and we are, at the request of many in the audience, we will have a cult expert back on the program soon to talk about the evolution of the Trump cult, because it is interesting from a psychosocial perspective. The hardcore Trump cultist will hear Trump say the picture was AI manipulated, and then maybe they'll see the video that we played where the camera zooms out and you see there's very clearly no manipulation. There's a huge crowd there, tens of thousands of people, and they will say, hey, you know what? Maybe Trump was right about it being AI manipulated. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe even the video you showed was AI manipulated as well. But the important point is that they would do that. Democrats would do that. They're capable of it. There's nothing morally that would stop them from doing the AI manipulation. And with that, they will be satisfied and they will move on, rather than saying, wait a second, Trump is lying again and again and again. And I'm falling for the lies again and again and again. And the promises he makes, he never keeps. And the things he says will happen never happen. 1929 style depression under Biden. Well, now he's predicting it under Kamala Harris. That is not the way that the hardcore MAGA cultist will react. The good news, if there is any, is that in this current situation, we've kind of, we're 2.5 months from this election. We've kind of moved beyond convincing the cultists. Yes, as a matter of curiosity, if you've got one of these cultists and you see them on Labor Day for a cookout or something, maybe you do try to convince them. But that's not how we're trying to win this election. This election is going to be won in two ways. Swaying the swayable voters, of which there are increasingly few, right? We talked on the bonus show yesterday about the diminishing number of undecideds, especially now that Kamala Harris is the nominee. And number two, turnout. The MAGA base doesn't really matter anymore. We don't ever write off a constituency long term. And I write about this in my forthcoming book. But in the immediate, in the next, 11 weeks, 10 weeks, something like that, 10.5 weeks before the election, we just need to get turnout going. And we need to make sure that the swayable voters, that diminishing group, understands the difference and the stakes here between Harris and Trump. And the MAGA cultists be damned for this election, and then we'll try to deprogram them between now and the next election. Let's take a break. We've got something very special cooking for you up next. There are two big problems with the cheap plastic disposable razors. 2/3 of people have skin irritation, and then over 2 billion plastic razors enter our landfills in the United States alone. Now, our sponsor, Henson Shaving, solves both problems. With the plastic disposable razors, you have unstable blades wobbling around as you shave, which causes the irritation. It's like if you were cutting something with scissors or a knife and the blade is wiggling. That's what's happening to your face with the cheap razors. So here's the solution. Razors produced by Henson have a blade that extends only 0.0013 inches past the shave plane. And that means no blade movement, more comfort before and after shaving. This is something only Henson can offer because of their precision manufacturing shop that also makes aerospace parts. Plus, the only part that you replace is the blade itself. The razor will last you a lifetime. Better for your wallet, much better for the planet. When you buy a razor at hensonshaving.com/Pacman, use the code Pacman to get a 2-year supply of blades for free. Make sure to add the blades to your cart. The link is in the description.